Hey, yo, Noir.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? What's going on, man? Welcome back to the Insomniatic Podcast. You know, this is actually approaching a high number of episodes, man. I appreciate everybody who's rocking with me, man. It's episode 38. I got a lot of episodes lined up, but I am honored to have the guest that I got here today. Man, listen, if you're an artist from my city and you don't know who this is, man, you need to reevaluate if you really are an artist. If you're an engineer in my city and you feel like you're a better engineer than this engineer, then it's only a couple names you could be where I can't say, okay. But to me, this is the big plug, the plug's plug, the studio plug, man. And this episode is for, you know, engineers, artists, everybody who got interested in just recording, music and stuff like that. But not only that, man, just life, you know, because, you know, we have our interests and things we good at, but we humans too, man. And this ain't just like somebody, it's my engineer, it's my guy, fool with him outside of music, man. Hey, and it's a lot that you'll be able to learn from this episode, but I ain't gonna drag it out. We gonna get right into it, man. So I'm gonna bring my guy in here, man. This is the studio plug, Jorge Castillo, as they call him. Don Jorge, what's up?
What's good, man? What's going on?
What's up, man?
Hey, I'm just still recuperating from that intro you gave me, bro. Come on, man. You got him, man.
Hey, man, listen. I know you humble, brother, but listen. Sometimes people, when you humble, people will be unhumble for you. Like me, you know, I'm a lyricist, but it's a lot of people who be like, nah, fuck that. You hard as hell. It's a lot. I ain't really heard a lot of artists from the city who spit like you, whatever. And that's cool. I appreciate that, but it ain't necessarily something that I'm just gonna say. You know what I mean? However, if it's a situation and I gotta go head up with them guys, I know what the outcome would be. Just like if you gotta go head up with mixing it, they give a track to you and a track to somebody else, how it's gonna turn out in the end, yours gonna sound better. Yeah.
I mean, I ain't playing the game to lose, you know what I'm saying? Definitely not. And I agree with you. Being humble is there's different levels to it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm confident in what I do, but I know I could definitely learn more. I could always learn from an artist I work with. I can learn from another engineer.
Right.
And just recently I started meeting these engineers that are in these higher rooms with higher artists and bigger deadlines and people really being even more pickier than what I'm used to sometimes working with local clients and stuff like that. Just different levels to it, man. And
right.
I mean, all I try to do is help people and keep learning, trying to get better. You know, that's all I can do.
Yeah, definitely, man. But you know, you have done a lot though, man. I remember even you just like, it was a seminar. What was it called at the? It's right there off Clawson in the hotel where they had the seminar, and it was like people was performing, because I performed at it. I don't think it was the Power Music Summit that Kenny Cole threw, but maybe it was. No, Kenny Cole and thing was in the Sheraton. This was right there. When you turn on Clawson, the first one on the left, it's a newer hotel in Augusta. I'm trying to think of what it was. I can't believe I can't think of what it was, but like, you know,
was it like during the daytime?
Yes.
It went. All right, so it had to be some DJs. My boy Killer Rand, he's in Detroit.
Yes.
My boy Killer Rand. I Fleet. It wasn't a Fleet DJ. I don't recall the actual name. I know him and Tyrone. R.I.P. to Tyrone.
On the ground.
I know they.
DJ Biggs.
Yeah, on the grind. Yeah, DJ Biggs. Yeah. So yes. I remember, I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember everything that happens. I don't even remember what I talked about. All I know is like whatever they wanted, that they needed help, I was there. I was like, yo, let's do it.
Right.
Because at the time, you know, I was working at, I was a music store manager at Portman's Music, right, at the music store. So I was just trying to link up with anybody that wanted to work, you know, churches, school systems, anything.
Yeah, man. You know, but you know, it's just a testament to your span of knowledge. You know, You working in the store, you people coming in trying to get their home studios and just their equipment together. You got them tight. You got schools and churches tight. You got a seminar and a panel of people trying to learn. You got them tight, and you speaking in front of crowds of artists and stuff like that. There's in a city there's definitely full of underrated people and people who feel like people who are aspiring to have a bigger acknowledgement. You know, Augusta has always been a market where it's been underrated talent because they don't actually have the knowledge to reach a certain level. And you take them same people and you put them in Atlanta, they'd have been blew up. Sometimes, not every artist, but there are talents that have come through the city that had they been based in a bigger city, they'd be rich as hell right now, you know. But I feel like I will represent the artist today with my questions to you. You know, we gonna talk about life as well. It ain't just gonna be music stuff, you know, because I understand that, you know, you got a lot of stuff going on outside of music, and your family's doing big things, man. You know, your daughter, your wife, bro. So
yeah, man.
I
deserve those headaches. Yeah.
All right. So definitely. That's beautiful, though. It's beautiful, man. I'm always glad to see it, man, and definitely supportive. You know, if there's any way my platform can help with anything, you know, just let me know for sure.
Appreciate that, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
I think as an artist with a home recording studio, I'll start there because I know a lot of artists that have home studios. So I'll start there and say, if I'm starting from scratch, I don't got shit. I don't have nothing. And I'm going to Jorge's Music Superstore to begin building my first setup. How much should I spend on my mic and like my interface, like similar to like a Fast Track Duo inbox or some shit? Like what would you recommend somebody to start out with who just ain't got they just cause like this how I ended up getting a home studio. I got bullshitted so many times by I got a studio time set up, then they canceled on me. Or me and my people, we went to the studio and we did this dope ass song, can't wait to get it back, and got it back and it sounded completely fucking different. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, that happened to me and Playboy G, my cousin David, and this guy Georgia Slim, man. We had a dope ass song. I'm talking about super dope. We had the whole studio rocking, and when they gave it back to us, we was like, what the fuck is this? Cause they ain't get it to us the same night. And it was like,
damn.
Yeah, man. And I ain't gonna say what studio it was. I ain't gonna call them guys out, cause like at the end of the day, like I don't wanna put myself in a position to have to like verbally.
No, we ain't gonna say no names. It's cool. We don't need, it don't even matter.
Yeah.
But man, there's a lot to your question, man. I mean, shout out to Augusta. I'm a product of Augusta, originally from Panama, but I grew up in Augusta, Glen Hills area, and I mean, Augusta's Augusta, man. You got to be tough to compete. You know what I'm saying? Augusta shows you how to compete. Like it ain't just you got to be tough to compete, and you're built with that competition. I think sometimes that kind of holds us back a little bit too. You know?
Yeah.
And at least that's how it was when I was growing up a little bit. But as far as like the music, like after I came back from Full Sail, I went to school at Full Sail. After I came back, I got a job at the music store. It was my first like job doing, selling music products. I got into like the pro audio department, and then I had to learn first how to like communicate with like customers. Like I was all getting technical, talking to them about what this can do, this mic can do. I had to learn how to talk to them and how to really explain it to them so it'll make sense. Mm-hmm. And just different levels. But starting out, man, I mean, I'll be honest. If you just want to try it, all you need is some if you got an iPhone, use your iPhone headphones and download BandLab.
Yeah.
That's starting off right there.
I got BandLab.
And I mean, I ain't gonna. Yeah, BandLab. I mean that Apple headphone is great, and it also teaches you about mic control. Because in the studio, if you got the mic real close, it's gonna sound real boomy.
Right.
But and let's say you holding a note, you could also fade it away. You know what I'm saying? There's different techniques you could actually use that to help you. And I mean, I know a lot of people making good music on BandLab.
That's fire.
But far as like how much to spend, like let's say you want to make the transition from BandLab and you want to let's say just be a little bit more expandable. Like somebody's bringing a keyboard, you can plug them in. You can't plug up a keyboard into your iPhone unless you buy a lot of different gadgets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So starting out, I mean, let's say you have a computer already. It could be a Mac, it could be a PC. Just make sure it's fast. I say you can get you $100 interface. That usually comes with some software.
Right.
About $100, $150 for interface. We'll say that. And then as far as microphone, I'll say, at least put $100 into it. That makes sure the electronics is at least good enough, and you'll get a good quality microphone starting out. And then from there, you got to get headphones, and you got to get cables, you got to get a stand, and that's the bare minimum you need. Okay. So total, you're looking right about, we'll say about $300, $350 just to get started.
All right, artists. So y'all hear that? Like, if you got a job and you can't over time sit $350 to the side, man, you really shouldn't be doing music. It's not a knock to your passion. It's just like, you have to, because it ain't gonna do nothing but get worse as you climb up. Like, for instance, like, you might write dope songs, right? And I was there as an artist, right? I had a lot of dope songs written down but not recorded. But I felt like that, and a lot of people around me felt like that this shit can compete on certain markets, but you're not gonna record that shit on a $300 worth of equipment and compete in Atlanta. You feel me? Like, because these motherfuckers got $10,000. Like remember the microphone you had in the James Brown studio, the Sony? Like, listen, me recording in that versus the mic I spent $100 on and playing both of them in Atlanta, at a showcase or something, like, they gonna fuck with the different quality, even though you could always re-record. But what I'm saying is this: you gotta crawl before you walk, but you also have to understand that it's levels to it. You know what I mean? So once you get past, okay, I just want to record this shit so I can give my songs life off of this piece of paper. Now I can hear it because I done recorded the hook out. Now I done recorded the verses. I can ride around, listen to it all day to memorize it. Because this is what I initially did. I recorded it so I could hear it, and then go to a better studio to lay it back down again. But there's also, you gotta set your LLC up. When you set up your LLC, because I'm getting into publishing now, because if you go in and brush and shit,
it's kind of, you went from recording and you taking them up, but let's get to that in a little bit.
Okay, you're right.
Let me add to what you added. So
okay, I
get what you're saying as far as like better equipment. They have better equipment, bigger studios, but I feel like now at this time the technology is getting better. You know what I'm saying? I feel you can get great sound in a home studio. It just has to be set up correctly. Right. What I mean by that is like making sure you record somewhere that's not picking up a lot of noise. That'll be great for your quality. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Certain mics just capture certain voices better than others. You know what I'm saying? It makes it easier when you mix. So sometimes it could be a matter of just getting more technique to help you. But really what I found out, it really depends on the type of person. You have some people that will sit there and learn it. And there's some people that are trying to be like, man, forget it. I want to go to another studio, let somebody else think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it really depends on that. But man, like you said, man, it's all about, like, if you go to Atlanta and you do a showcase, if somebody went to, let's say, Patchwork, their songs gonna guarantee to at least hit or sound good. You know what I'm saying? To that point.
Yeah.
But then you play yours that's not even mastered right, whatever, you're gonna hear a sound difference.
Right. And not to get too far into it as well, because we're gonna get there, but especially in Atlanta, like, people gonna know, okay, if your shit sound like this, then I'm gonna assume that you only know this much about music. So if your shit sound good, I'm gonna try to, like, finesse. It's a finesse city, I'm gonna squeeze in there and be like, hey, I can put your song in front of this person for this much money, or let's re-record, let's work out a deal. Like, it's so many levels to it that, like, I think you have to take it one level at a time. So I think that the level that you're talking about with the home studio and stuff like that, you really should just focus on laying down your catalog, what you have written, and just perfecting your craft, sharpening your sword. Because as you step up, even in just the city, man, as you step up, you get around more and more serious artists, and it's gonna require you to level up. You know what I mean? Or even if you go from a home studio to the studio PLUG studio, listen, man. He might hit the space bar and be like, "You gonna have to do that again." You know, you gonna have to.
Man,
you gonna have to do it.
I mean, I will. It definitely needs to. You know what I'm saying? But it's always like when you first work with somebody, you just kind of have to kind of read the room, see how it goes. Because there's some people that they tell you exactly what they want.
Right.
And then I still gotta find a way to get in there and get them to trust me more. So it's all about that trust when it comes to stuff like that.
Right. But I think those people.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Definitely.
I think those people actually do that because of the repetition of how often on their own they digging into their songs. Like those people probably got at least 100 songs. Like I know that sound like a lot, but if you somebody who always doing it, it's not hard to have 100 songs, or at least I'll say 50. I don't want to put them in the same boat as me, not to be like bragging or nothing, but I'm saying that like, dude, shit, I got a lot of 100 songs. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is this, like, yeah. What I'm saying is like, when I send you a song and I be like, on this part, I want a flanger, or I want verify, I want this, it's because I've been in the presets and stuff like that on my own, and even though I'm not a professional engineer, I understand what certain things do, so I could talk the language. Kind of like I heard Nipsey say it before, where he's like, I record my own music, so when I go to the big studios, I'm talking to the engineer because if you can tell an engineer to get them close as you can to your vision, he can take it from there. Yeah, it's been songs I've had that like I had a vision for it, and then like you be like, I'm about to try something real quick, and then you do it, and I be like, oh my God, yes, right there, that hell yeah. And I never imagined that being on that track. You feel me? And I think
feel you, man.
That ultimately the combination is what gets your product to the level where it can compete. I think that it's huge though for our city, to understand that everybody can take on their own lane. It's not a competition as much as a group effort. You know what I'm saying? We're not up high enough in comparison to the world to be playing crabs in a bucket. What we need to be doing is meshing, like Texas, like everybody's collabing to the point that they don't have to get signed, because the population, they could just, like Lil Kiki got rich out the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Like he never really have a record deal like that, but he's rich though, because he figured out the game. You know what I'm saying? But Texas been like that. That's why everybody loves Screw. That's why everybody love UGK. That's why everybody love many different artists. I won't get too far into Texas, but I think that for the betterment of any city, they have to keep down on the noise of beef and stuff like that. And I think that they should share information. And that's kind of one of the goals of this particular episode, you know what I'm saying? Share information, especially from the GOAT studio plug. I'm sorry, I always say it, listen. I mean, man, it's a lot of topics you just hit, man, and I agree to what what you're saying, and I want to add to that I think it could also start off with the studios, with the engineers. Yeah. Because, like for instance, when you work, when you're working at the next level, working with artists that want to, they say, get their stuff as best as possible. Sometimes you have to send your session to another mix engineer that's known for certain sounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And sometimes getting sessions in my hometown, I mean, in the past it was hard to get, because people didn't want you. You didn't want to send somebody a session and show them what you did. Like they try to keep everything a secret. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So in Atlanta, people don't hesitate. They be like, hey, let me get the session. I might get my homie to try to mix it, and they try to mix it, and they come back and be like, hey man, can you give it a shot? I'm like, yeah, of course, send me the session. You know what I'm saying? And then from there we work. So I think also you're talking about, as far as finding an engineer and that you can talk to. One of my biggest goals last year was to work on making artists talk to me more. You know what I'm saying? Especially even like in the first, like even we meet work for the first time, or we've been working, I've been helping my clients talk to me more. Meaning, man, what you feeling, what you hearing,
what idea you have. And then in time, them seeing me work Pro Tools with them, they start seeing I'm like teaching them as far as like how to maneuver with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like for instance, like you said, hey, throw a little verify. They might not call it verify. They're like, man, do the slow down effect or do the zzz, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know, it depends on everybody got it's funny. Everybody got their own language, and it's just about finding that vibe and knowing. I'd be like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
You know, they might be like, man, make it like in a tunnel, and I'll be like, man, a tunnel don't sound right. Oh, they just want to air it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's a lot of different things.
Yeah, and bringing
and I was just gonna say, like, and my goal as an engineer is to help bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? You're painting the picture. I'm the one painting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can just help me, and I add my little touches here and there to make it even more glamorous.
Yeah. And I think that in the industry it's slept on as far as how much of a role the engineer plays into the success of the artist. Like if you think about Travis Scott and how heavily what's the word I want to use? Well, I say how heavy the effects are on his voice at times and stuff like that. Like
as far as process, like how heavily processed.
Yeah. Like he might not know shit about how to do that, but he just explained to the engineer, listen, I want that shit to be like this. Or that's how he found his sound. An engineer was like, I'm finna put this on there real quick. And then he heard him, was like, yeah, that. But now when he go to the next engineer, he remember what dude said he was gonna put on there and was like, listen, I need you to put this on there. And then he was out of there from there, you know. He started creating and carving his own lane, his own sound from just his experiences with an engineer, you know. Cause the wrong engineer can have your shit sounding basic too, you know. And it ain't no knock on no engineers, cause like we all out here perfecting our crafts, but you know, ultimately I think that you just hold your dreams at a certain importance individually, and however much work that you put into it, man, it's gonna be what you get out of it. So when you have groups of people meshed together who all have learned from repetition, then that shit ultimately makes the finished product be as great as it ends up being, you know, especially like on a mainstream scale. But you know, I really strongly believed in doing this particular episode for sure for the underdog artist, you know, the artist that's not popping, or who's trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? Or who's just popping a little bit, but you know, he ain't like out of here, you know what I'm saying?
They grinding, you know, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say is like, you know, engineering is it's not only a technical thing, but it's also an art form too. It's almost like playing an instrument. You know what I'm saying? Some people have a different feel for certain things, so that's another reason why you get an engineer that can capture that feel that you're wanting, can understand how you communicate or what direction you're trying to go. And a lot of times it's unfortunate people have to go to different places to find it, but you know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I try to take pride in more adapting to the type of artist I'm working with. It could be a gospel artist, could be a Spanish artist, it could be a you know, just it could be a rapper, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. And I'll just try to adapt. But one thing I want to tell you, man, you'd be surprised like these top artists how nice they are also on the Pro Tools. Yeah. Like Young Thug and his engineers Baines, like Baines is recording them, but there's times Young Thug takes over and does this thing. He's chopping, he's dicing, you know what I'm saying, adding effects, adding automation. So Travis Scott, I've heard he's not bad as well. And the one that surprised me was Ariana Grande?
Yeah.
She's real nice with the Pro Tools. There's videos of her chopping and doing all that.
That's crazy.
Nah, dog, they put in it's part of it's their work, you know what I'm saying? And if the engineer can't do it, they step in and be like, yo, let me do it. Or sometimes it's just you know, we're painting together. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
And you know, I always desired to be that artist, because like, you know, I don't want to come in the studio and make it hard on nobody, especially it's just like take it. I want to tell you what I want the finished outcome to be, and if I can begin the process, or if I can do it, I'd rather go ahead and do it first and then be like, okay, that's what I meant. Or I just say vocally like, hey, you know, chop this part right here, boo boo boo, and then you be like, yeah, I think I might know something that might sound good right here, and be like, cool. It's like you building together, and then It's like they call publishing. It's a composition. It's a combination of multiple people coming together and making some shit be like very, very high quality. You know what I mean?
See, but that's kind of 50-50. It's on there. See, that's like, now it's like, sometimes you know, engineers thinking about like, man, should I be getting points also? Because normally engineers don't get points.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? But engineers don't get points. So the thing is, sometimes like, there's engineers that say, hey, I helped shape this sound, I helped add these effects, this I gave it this wave or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, you know, the producer didn't do that with the beat. You know, I mean, he did, but you know, it's an argument. Sometimes people get points, and I think like that French Montana and what's that song with Swali? Yeah, with Sway Lee. I think they gave Jason Joshua, the engineer, points on that, and he actually gave it to like a you know, some benefit or something. You know what I'm saying? And they all that money went to them.
That's crazy. I think it's only right though, unless they gonna pay the engineer like a huge amount up front, you know, so therefore that when the royalties come in to everybody else, you know, he don't feel some type of way, or it doesn't. I just don't.
That's why you gotta charge. You gotta charge. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta be all right with it. That's what comes with ideas as well. And you know, it's just a thin line, kind of. You know, it can, you giving people ideas, and I'm not just talking about one idea. I'm talking about actually working on the record and changing it. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. It can happen.
Yeah. Because I mean,
but most of the time.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, we good. I was just saying, most of the times, you know, engineers don't get points. They just handle their business, do what they do. That's why they charge, you know, the amount they charge, because they don't get nothing for the song spinning so many times. You know what I'm saying?
And that's crazy, because the song would never sound how it sounds without them.
Well, I say it would be without them and the artist together, because the artist gotta, you know, of course, like, approve it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a teamwork. You know, it is teamwork. That's how I say it. Yeah,
absolutely. But the engineers, it should be held in a higher importance. I think it's similar to, I don't know if you heard about this, but they have a legislation out there where they're trying to make these streaming companies pay the artists more than like 0.00 whatever 3 cents per.
They need to.
Need to. Hell yeah. But like, there should be some type of implementation to where they could include engineers in the publishing, not to where you just giving them this big ass piece of the pie to where, you know, everybody want to go to court or something. But man, I like I've had home studios and I had so many artists come through there. Like, just for instance, like I'm gonna use the Pyrex Boys, right? Shout out to the Pyrex Boys, you know, Honcho, you know, Big Jody. And like, they were artists who just initially could freestyle a lot, you know, come up with good ideas off the top of their head. And I'll be like, I was recording them and I stopped and be like, hey, that's dope. I want y'all to write y'all verses. I can make that hook a hook, but y'all need to write y'all verses, because that's too dope for y'all to play over. You know what I'm saying? And then so over time, they was like, okay. So they start writing, and then like, boom, they coming through the studio laying down gas, you know what I'm saying? Straight gas. And it's like, I seen it, but if I had just let them just come in there and just freestyle away over and over and over and over and over, then shit, I just would have been like, okay, yeah, just give me whatever and then go about your way.
That's nice, man, but I know another side of it too.
What's that?
Like, I work with guys that just freestyle. We find a beat together right then and there, we load it up, and right there while they're sitting next to me, is usually outside of a booth, either standing up or sitting down. They're freestyling the whole song.
Right.
And we're punching in, and it works out. You know what I'm saying? So it's. I think it's all about a feel, man. It's all about the feel. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they feel like them just freestyling just naturally just comes out how they feel, and they just go with that gut feeling.
And I'm as an artist, especially like, you know, record myself, and I can punch in and out. I'm kind of there, but like, they were kind of starting out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that comes with comfortability. You know what I'm saying? As far as like building a track. Now, there are artists who you can find a good stopping point and be like, all right, punch in from there. I'm gonna stop you right here and I come. You know what I'm saying? But it's more of a constructive, like, okay, I ain't want to keep that last part. I feel like you should start from here type thing. And then it turns out good too. But certain artists who just can like, they can go and they know when they reach the end of a good thought, I'm gonna stop right there and then I'm gonna brainstorm real quick and then jump back in there. Because it flows smoother when you do that. That's what I have found.
Yeah.
But you know,
I mean,
a lot of hooks, at least I lay down like that. You know what I mean? Because if I tell people all the time, the more that you think about it, you kind of fuck yourself up. You gotta let it flow. You know, time you think about it, you mess up. You know, writing, you put too much thought into writing a lot of times, but you just have to appreciate an engineer that's gonna be like, because you finna put money into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put money with the engineer, but if let's say you record a hit, you gonna go from that studio, then you gonna be like, all right, shit, I need this mastered, probably from the same person potentially, but that's gonna be more money. Then you got marketing, promotion, you know, graphic, like merch and shit like that. You know, you gotta get your graphic design, whatever your logo, like all of that type of shit right there. So you don't want to do all that behind something that you didn't calculate. It's not a calculated thought. You just was like, yeah, I know shit. I'm on some Jay-Z shit. Let's go. I can do it off the top of my head, and it's cool. But at the end of the day, like, bro, you have to think about it that it's so many markets that you might sound good in your market doing that shit, but when they put you in a market with more serious artists, or at least it's gonna be artists in that same market that you were better than, but it's an artist in that bitch who was sitting on top of that motherfucker like a throne. You know what I'm saying? And that's who you want to go up against. That's who you want to be like, shit, fuck him. I'm just as good as that nigga too. And this is me personally speaking. I don't want to just go up against the greatest artist in the market on some freestyle shit because I'm Jay-Z. Like, I'm a revisit. You know, like I said, I'll freestyle my hook and all that shit, but like, I'm trying to eat the track alive. You feel me? Like,
I mean, like, let's take Thug for instance. Thug does a lot of freestyles. He sits down with his engineer right next to him. He's freestyling. They're, you know, he might freestyle something he don't like. You know, he'll say, "Let's do it again. Let's punch in again," and they'll build it. They're actually building the song together. Right. And that's kind of like how certain guys do it that I work with. We build the song, and you know, it ain't about, sometimes some people don't even think it's not about the money. They be like, hey man, I got 4 hours, and if we only do one song, at least we did one good one. You know what I'm saying? Some people think that way. Some people actually think, I got 4 hours, I need to do 2 songs an hour, and they just keep thinking. Some people take that time to work on that song. So it's different levels to it, man. That's just what it is. And the competing, and like you said, buying, you know, marketing and all that stuff, like, man, a lot of times you don't even got to think about that when you're creating in the studio. You know what I'm saying? You just creating it and trying to work on the product, man. That comes later. That's like later on when you're done, you're like, oh man, this song nice. Now it's time to take it to that next step. You know what I'm saying?
But I do think a lot of that got to do with hype. Like, it's funny we talking about Thug, because I was riding with my wife earlier, right? And I was just like, what the fuck is he talking about? And it's no diss on Thug. It's just like certain songs as an artist, I could tell certain sections of his song, he just freestyled that bitch. Like one of my favorite Thug songs is Digits. We run out of digits, we run out of money, we run out. And a lot of parts of that song, you could tell he was like freestyling it. You know, like he was, and it's cool because his, you know, like he solidified the song. He get the publishing. Like, it's a successful song. But I just, like, as far as Thug go, I just feel like that you take the same artist, Young Thug, and you put just a little bit more thought into what he doing and saying, man, listen, there won't be an artist who can fuck with him for 100 years.
No, man. My bad, man. Excuse me. I didn't mean to cut you off. No, but you good. Like, I think that process is a lot more with thought than non-thought. Because when they freestyle those songs, like, it ain't like, I freestyle, I'm done. Like, they're going back, listening. They're going back, like, they're doing all that's what you hear at the end. It's like what they want you to hear. You know what I'm saying? They wanted it like that. Gotcha. And I know that because the engineer Baines, and I'm saying his name a couple times. He's one of the top in the game right now. I mean, I know his level of paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Like far as his engineering level and everything. And I know Thug is even worse than that. He wants things to sound a certain way. So, I mean, their process, I mean, they're known for being that workhorse in the studio. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, like, but at the next level, man, it's like, you know, I've actually forced a couple. That's not forced. That's not the word I'm saying. I kind of like push my clients, a couple of them, just to start freestyle. Like, hey man, just start freestyling bar for bar. They weren't comfortable with it at first. They started doing it. They're basically writing, right. And I'm the notepad.
Exactly.
I'm recording it. You know what I'm saying? They're putting it back, and then they're hearing it again. They're hearing it again. And it's not like a go fast type thing. It's like they're hearing it again, and they'll be like, okay, I got the next 2 bars. I got the next 4 bars or whatever. And it's like they're writing, but I'm the notepad.
Okay. Well,
that makes, you see what I'm saying? It's like that.
Yeah. Because like I said, I definitely do that, and I have songs where I've done that for sure. I didn't know that Thug, you know, is that articulate, like that anal about going back and checking.
Yes, he is.
I thought he just kind of like, you know, when you at a certain level and you gotta push out a certain amount of tracks. I thought he was getting his.
They mess up too. They mess up too, and they got to do it again too. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
Yeah, I actually recorded with this guy named Flo. The Flo. That's what his handle is on IG and shit. And like he recorded Gunna's. He's one of YSL's engineers as well.
Flo, yeah, he's Gunna's engineer. He knows Baines. He's in that same team. He knows Baines.
Yeah, man. Hey, when I recorded with Flo, that was a great session, man. I mean, a really, really great session, and it was prior to, you know, the whole Gunna movement and all that shit. Cause like to me, I was telling my wife that shit today. It's crazy. We talking about it. I'm trying to figure out whether Gunna might be my favorite artist right now. Like, because at the end of the day, Killer Mike, #1 album. I don't put nobody album over Killer Mike, but right under Killer Mike last year, I got Gunna. I think he shitted on everybody. Even Thug's album, no diss to Thug, but I just feel like that I wouldn't have dropped behind that. You see what I'm saying? I would have.
But you know. My bad, but you know the Gunna album, not the Gunna, my bad, the Thug album was just his old songs they just put together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So somebody else up with him picked it a little bit, so it wasn't like current.
Right. But with
and they put older songs in there too.
Yeah, definitely. And I could tell, and I knew, but it was just like, you know, with all the rumors of them potentially having issues and X, Y, and Z, I just felt like that. If that was all they had, cool, because it wasn't like his album was just trash. It was just that Gunna's album was so fucking good. You know, he had so much that he put into it from within himself because of the situation he was going through and the hurt he felt when it came to Thug, and how he felt like that, you know, the world was looking at him and stuff. Like, that's cause Thug getting paid off of that album too, you see what I'm saying? So strategically, I might would have let Gunna's album buzzed out a little bit and then drop that Thug. You see what I'm saying? Just because it's still all YSL. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, it is. It's still all YSL, but sometimes you gotta think of it this way. Like, you know, Thug's name was buzzing because of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Did Gunna drop first or did Thug drop first? It was Gunna, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, think of it this way, man. So you're playing Gunna. That's a spin, right? What's the song you gonna play afterwards? It might be a Thug song. That's another spin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's a business move. That's the way I look at it. It's a business move. Yeah, like you said, like you said, Thug is winning off Gunna, right?
Yeah, he's definitely Gunna's making sure
that's money.
Thug eats,
and then he drop again. That's more money, and that's a way to support Thug at the time. So that's the way I look at it.
And the publicity.
It's just a business move.
A lot of motherfuckers trying to make it seem like that Thug was gonna diss Gunna. And then they had his sister. I forget the sister's name, but she was like that was an AI with his voice, but where it said it sounded like not Gunna. Thug was on the phone with Lil Durk. And he was like, I want you and Baby on this song. They say that fuck nigga finna drop. And I, you know, like that, like shit like that stirs the pot and makes sales. You know what I'm saying? It makes people be like, oh, I want to hear what he finna say about it type shit. But I I honestly hate they situation went like that, because a lot of my favorite songs is Gunna and either Thug or Gunna and Baby, Lil Baby, you know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
we got a lot of great songs from those duos, and we won't never hear that shit again. I don't think that,
I mean, you know, it's life, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't, you know, we just, as I guess as fans, you know, like you said, you looking at it from a fan point of view, it's life. I know me, I be looking up to the engineers, you know, shout out to Flo. I would like to one day meet him, you know what I'm saying? I know he's come up and does a lot of records, you know what I'm saying? So,
Flo is cool.
I mean, far as go ahead.
No, I said Flo is cool as fuck too, man. Very, very humble guy, very knowledgeable. And man, he knocked that shit out.
Bro, I met a lot of engineers in the city. Two of them that helped me out was a guy named Brian Enzel. He used to be Future's engineer. My homie Esco, he worked with LMA. Forgot the studio, Bravo Ocean, Atlanta. He used to be the main engineer there. Bravo Ocean was a real nice studio where a lot of top acts go to. And these guys, I mean, I got in, you know, I got in that circle, you know what I'm saying? Just being humble, being me. And man, them guys gave me different tips and they brought me in. And these guys know the Bainses and the Flows and all these people, man. They're right there, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely different levels to it in the engineer, from the engineer side. And these guys all take part in making sure everything's official. You know, every word's on beat, you know, etc. There's just different things you got to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I could say, like, you know how people use Wave plugins and you got presets? I finally know somebody in those presets, you know what I'm saying? It's like I finally got to know somebody I can just call, and they in a couple of those presets.
That is nuts, cause I look, that's what, like with Pro Tools, when I was using Pro Tools, I'm faithful to the Waves bundles. You know, like, can't go wrong, can't steer me wrong with Waves. I love Waves. Man,
everybody got a crack of those, man. Everybody crack Waves.
Yeah, man. But you know, in our city, to be like, as you say names, I'm definitely gonna look these people up, because like in Augusta, to be like you the ceiling, bro. It's like
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, like for real.
Nah, man,
like, I bounced around.
Man, appreciate
bro.
that.
Like I there's the Jorge's, there's the Pompeii. Shout out to Pompeii. Even you know, Pompeii is a producer. You know, his instrumentation is crazy. Oasis I've heard of before, and
man, you got Spilly, you got
Spilly, my bad.
My homie Spilly, that definitely he's
hell yeah.
He's my favorite engineer producer combo. You know what I'm saying? That dude's a great engineer.
Yeah.
Even better producer. And
Spilly is a monster.
I'm gonna say this on camera, man. Like, I'm gonna say this on camera. Like, I'm a fan of all the engineers in my city that I know. There's some that I don't know. It's not on purpose. I'll be busy. You know what I'm saying? But like Spilly's one of my favorites, man. Spilly, not normally when I hear this sound, I'm like, man, I want my stuff to like have that impact too. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I enjoy most about Spilly is the way he uses reverb and also the way he does his ad-libs. I always was just a fan. I'm like, man, I love the way he does what he does. And Pompeii, great instrumentalist, one of my favorite, like I ain't even gonna call him instrumentalist, producer, my bad. I didn't mean to say that.
Well,
but
he good shit. He
like
plays guitars, all of that.
Yeah, he nice with it, man. He one of my favorites. I remember a long time ago there was a beat battle, and there was no space at the beat battle, like, to get in. And Pompeii comes late with a homie of ours. They was like, hey man, get Pompeii. And I was like, man, I'm gonna use my connections. I'm gonna get him in. And he won that. He won that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I bet.
My homie Pompeii won. So
I bet.
Dude's nice with it, man.
Fuck yeah.
Man, I'm sipping on Don, you know, went outside, puffed a little bit. I'm chilling, and I can't remember names right now, but you got a lot of engineers in the city, man.
Definitely.
And the youngest coming up, I mean, R&B JD, you got Nico, man. But one thing is, man, like, I feel like the Augusta engineering, there's so much more to learn. There's so much that the guys, the new generation, can benefit from somebody like myself giving back and stuff like that. That's something I'm trying to work on.
Definitely. And that's why I say what I say, because I ain't never seen you not trying to pull the whole city up with you. You see what I'm saying? Like it was.
People don't see that though. People do not see that.
Right. But you know I've seen it because you had.
People don't see that, man.
You had many chances to just leave all together and go chase your career, and you was like, I'm gonna bring my city with me. And I think that where we're similar at, even though you're an engineer, I'm an artist, is that we feel like our city been overlooked for so long, undeservingly, and we want to see everybody eat. We don't feel like we better than nobody. We respect this person being good and that person being good and that person being great. But we just acknowledge our own greatness. But it's just, how do we get past our state that we sitting at dormant because the people before us was going through the same shit? You see what I'm saying? It's geographical blackballing almost, and it's not even none of us, but it's affecting us. It's impacting the artists, it's impacting the engineers, it's impacting the producers. It ain't no fucking way that Pompey ain't got a placement with a major artist off of one of his beats. Ain't no fucking way you ain't record a major artist, you vocals and mix and master. Ain't no fucking way that fucking I ain't got a track out here that's like, you know what I mean, out of here, bro. But you know,
it's a lot of things you could say about that. You know, it's sometimes taking a risk. You know what I'm saying? You could take a risk to get out there. Like, I think Pompey should. I think he has a good a record that's out like that, that's hitting.
He does, but I just mean the amount of years that I've known that he's put into this shit. I can't say that. I get what you're saying. He deserves more. You see what I'm saying?
He does, though. He does. But one thing I can say is, like, I've been lucky to. I mean, I started at the bottom, and I'm grinding up. Like I'm saying, I'm there. You know, so I just gotta have that one hit. But a lot of times, these major artists, like, somebody be like, man, why you ain't work with nobody major? I mean, I worked with people with names before. A lot of times, I'm not on live showing who I'm working with. I'm not worried about it as long as I get paid. You know what I'm saying? But one thing is, these people who are at this next level, they already have the engineer they work with. They already have the producers they like to work with. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for a new person to come in unless you get into that circle, right? Or get introduced to that circle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'm not finna get a record to mix and master from an artist in Universal, because they already have a whole list of people. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find a way to get my attention, get my name on that list. And little by little, I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Hopefully that's just a little bit on that topic. But yeah. I mean, Augusta, like you said, I mean, there's so much talent in the city. But I believe from my end, man, I just think the studios need to work better together.
Yeah.
Need to work more as a team.
Studios, y'all hear that shit? You heard it first from the Studio Plug here on the Insomniac Podcast. Goddammit, it ain't no diss to nobody. It's like, shit, we gotta get our shit together because it's what everybody else doing to eat. You know, because we could do some shit right in Augusta and not take it to no other city, and the shit blow all the way the fuck up. You know, I mean, we in the TikTok era. We in
yes or no, but
well, I feel like this. It's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's been done before can be done. So, you know, I remember when, like, think about this way back. See, we were close to the same age, right? You remember Camouflage, right? Camouflage coming out of Savannah. That shit wasn't a thing for a Savannah artist to be that fucking big. But Pure Pain had Pure Pain DJs, you know, then they had Camouflage, and then they just pushed their movement until that shit fucking blew. Like, I'm so fucking Augusta, bro, and pro Augusta, I should say, and Carolina, of course. Like, but from my area, it's the same shit. But I just hate to see people who deserve something not fucking, you know, reach those goals, you know, and then be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm finna go work at this plant. Like, I get it, but it's fucked up to me too at the same time. You see what I'm saying? Because geographically, you take that same person, put them elsewhere, they might be out of here. You know, they might tell their mama, "Hey, you ain't going to work. Quit that motherfucking job."
I mean, maybe, but I think it's more on the situation of the person. Because there's I mean, I hate to say this, man, but it takes money to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's true.
If you come in, you know what I'm saying, it takes money to make it. So I mean, if you an artist that's nice with it and you don't got no investors, nobody to help you to get to a different city, to get yourself to do a new show, to promote your music more, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry to say that. You know what I'm saying? I know you got the internet, and there's ways to do it through the internet. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, so it really depends, man. Because I know artists that are not fully blown that have spent $50,000 on their music and etc. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll tell you this. I'm not saying who, but I know artists in Augusta that just record and they spend money on recording and they'll never release.
That's true.
Because sometimes this is therapy for people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that's another reason. Sometimes some clients I can't even show on camera. Everybody be like, man, what you doing? I'm like, man, I'm in the studio. They don't see it all the time.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like studio etiquette. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be with a camera.
So let me ask you this: what do you feel like? What do you feel like stops those artists from dropping? Besides, I know you said money, but like, it's still a habit. You know what I'm saying? Like those artists, that ain't their first time being in the studio. They probably got a lot of sessions where they came, recorded, and they ain't dropped nothing. What do you think that? Well, a better question is, what do you think could get them out of that habit?
Man, I think it starts with their self, like far as, because sometimes artists don't drop because they could be worried about is it the right song? They could be worried about what people think. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of times, I'm telling artists now, you should drop one song every 2 weeks or whatever. Just the more motion you can get, the more numbers you can hit. You know, get your money. So, like you said earlier, they're trying. Like you said earlier, they're trying to make Spotify and Apple Music pay artists more. They should. You know. Yeah. I think Snoop Dogg said it best. He said he sold 1 million CDs, he got $1 million. He get 1 million spins, he don't even get close to nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where I was going with that, but as far as what's stopping them, I don't know, man. I just think sometimes a lot of the artists I work with that have a lot of songs that haven't dropped, it's either it could be situational with them. It could meaning like, you know, they're just not in the mood to drop because they know they gotta dedicate themselves to you know, prepare themselves to do a lot of videos or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They kind of preparing for that, and some of them are just trying to work. They just put in work in the gym. You know what I'm saying? They're working out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get their songs at a certain level.
Yeah, and I think that like me personally with myself, right? Like I've had shit that people be like, "Yo, what the fuck? That shit hard as hell," or whatever, and then I would be like, I don't want to be that guy dropping for nothing. I don't want to be that motherfucker dropping just so Tony them at the corner store can be like, I heard that shit was hard as fuck, and then the song died. You know,
but you need them on the corner though. You need them to hear to be like, you know, yo, I appreciate that new song hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you need them too.
Right. But that's gonna be a minimal amount of revenue. You see what I'm saying? And
but I mean, you just not dropping to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I get you, but at the same time, how do you go from when I drop they the only motherfuckers to hear this shit to when I drop that it's a wider span of people outside of they heard it on a post or they played it one time? Like certain artists don't want their shit played one time. So like I got a lot of family members that do music as well, and they always talk down on people dropping just to drop, and so I was in between people who was dropping all the time and people who was like, don't be dropping just to drop. Them niggas clout chasing, but they ain't getting no motherfucking money. And so it's like you hearing both, you seeing both, you hearing both, and it's like, who's right, who's wrong? You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you gotta have that impact. You like you have mentally, you're in charge of your creation and what you make, and you know what it can do, but do you undercut what it can do by prematurely dropping it when you don't have the proper plan in place to catapult it? Because I heard the other day, I forgot who it was. It was like, when you hear that single on the radio that went #1, that's $200,000, which I know ain't. If I'll use me. If I came to Canal Street Studios, and I don't know if you still call it that, and I drop a song, and then I was like, I'm putting this bitch out. When I put that bitch on Facebook, I got 5,000 friends. 20 of them niggas might share that shit. You see what I'm, like this episode, 20 niggas might share this shit. You see what I'm saying? Cause strangers make you rich. So how you get in front of the strangers with that product to make it get out of here? You know what I'm saying? And
so I get what you said, man. It's a lot of different topics you just named there, and I'll be trying to remember the first one you said. But so putting my marketing hat, like I say, man, I was blessed to study business and I actually enjoyed studying it, and also being a store manager, learn how to run a business. So I look at music also the same way. And I mean, if an artist wants to basically get more fans or get more clicks, which is almost like selling a product, you're pretty much selling your music almost to a point to get views. They got to put themselves out there to get those views. You can't just post on your Facebook and expect it to be just to do numbers on its own. I'll tell you this, I was talking this about somebody the other day. When somebody, on average, I ain't talking about everybody, I'm just talking about most, just hear me out. When somebody drops a song, like say drops a song right now, they share it on their social media, right? They share it on their story, check out my song, new post, a couple people repost, whatever, right? The next day they might do it again. Almost about a week to 2 weeks later, you don't hear about it no more.
That's true. So let me ask you a question.
Hold on, before you go there. Remember that question. So with that being said, how do I get more people to come to me? So I'm sure when you drive down the highway, let's say you're taking a trip somewhere new, you driving down the highway, you're going to see a billboard that says Chick-fil-A, exit 81. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're going to see a reminder, Chick-fil-A, exit like the Buc-ee's does well with that. Buc-ee's, 60 miles from now or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find a way to add your billboard to get people's attention. And if the way you're approaching the people you're sending your billboard to is not working, you need to actually analyze, why is it not working? Maybe I'm not targeting the right people that actually listen to my music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to try to find those people who likes your music, who's digging it. If it's an artist that you like, that sounds similar to you or your style, try to find their go in and see who like their stuff and try to contact them. Like, yo, check out my video.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just small ideas. And I mean, of course, that's just, you got to grind. People think it's just, I put my song, I'm going to blow up overnight. Nah, you got to grind.
Definitely a grind.
Like, stop being lazy and grind. Shit, stop being lazy. This ain't for the weak.
Exactly. You either get in or get out. That's just what it is.
I mean, you can get in, you can get out, you can lay on the side, whatever, but if you're trying to get on this level, step up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how it is.
All right, so look. Okay, I'm going to use myself for this question for the artist that's out there wondering, right? So, like, my album's been done, but every time I record a song, I'll be like, fuck, that got to go on the album. But with what you're talking about right now, would you be dropping singles? Would you drop your entire project? Like, and just keep putting out projects? Like, what do you feel like?
I got you.
Yeah, from a marketing standpoint or a incrementation to get in motion standpoint, what do you feel like is the approach they should take?
All right, so I talk about this with my clients all the time, and we have these conversations all the time. Sometimes we start off like talking 20 minutes, just see how we doing, what's the vibe, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. So with stuff like that, that's a very popular question. So check this out. You drop a single, Spotify, all platforms, blah, blah, all over social media. Somebody clicks on it, right?
Right.
You drop an album, right? Let's say you drop 8 songs. What are the chances that the person that just looked at your album is going to click on all 8 songs? They might play the first one, maybe the second one, maybe the third one. But what are the chances of them clicking on all your songs instead of clicking on a single quicker? Yeah,
that's a good answer. Which brings me to a better one after you finish. But go ahead.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, so, damn, I forgot what you said about, man, I lost my thought thinking about that, man. It was something else you touched upon, and I just forgot. But go ahead, bro. My bad.
That's all good. It's all good. So, what would you say is the what would you recommend to artists these days when they say, okay, I got all these songs for my project and I'm narrowing it down, how many songs should I?
That's what it was.
I'm glad
That's what it was. About the song selection. That's what it was. So So, like I said, I've had this conversation before, so the question is not new. So what I would suggest is a couple things. Like, let's just stick with the number 5 right now. Take 5 people that you finna basically give all 40 songs to, right? It could be your main homie that loves your music, your engineer. Find maybe your sister, somebody you know is a hard critic, and somebody else. Make it a 5th person that you feel like their opinion to you matters about your music, and ask them to rank your music.
Okay.
Without you just don't even worry about what they rank. Ask them like, hey, pick the top 10 songs, you know what I'm saying, out of 20, and then tell me which ones you like, blah 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 blah. And then it's like a survey, bro. Like that's a survey. You use a survey and see which songs are liked from people like them.
Right.
That's what I would do. Kind of like a survey type thing, and just take that opinion into account.
Okay.
Because you're gonna always make more music.
Right.
You can't give the perfect album that first time.
But do you think there's a certain, being that people's attention span is short, do you think there's a certain number that they shouldn't exceed per album? Like, I've seen an album this year with 10 songs. I've seen an album with 14 songs. I've seen an album with, I want to say, 8 songs this year. That's where you gotta make sure every song flowing, every song is hard. That's what I was about to say.
You gotta make sure, because if it ain't, I mean, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, next, they either skip or be like, oh, let me find something else to play. Let me go to that little rap hip hop playlist on Apple Music, play the top 20 songs or whatever.
So you think it's more about the flow of the track selection? As long as they flow into each other perfectly.
That's an art form, man. To me, that's an art form. Like, it has to flow.
But me personally, like my album Eccentric, right? Before I left for basic training, I was like, I'm gonna make it my business to finish my album first. But I finished with 16 songs, but they flowed perfectly into each other. But to me, that was entirely too much. You know what I mean? So
see, but that's the case. So, like you said, people's attention span is lower. So to answer your question about the numbers, which I didn't get to it. That's correct. I would say from as far as how many should be on the album, I would say from minimum 6.
Mm-hmm.
Now minimum 6 to like maybe 12. I think is a good number. Like, if you have more than that, it's on purpose. Like, there's a reason for you having that many songs.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm pretty sure that answer for a lot of people out there.
And my bad. I was just gonna say with the singles, like, you drop. So let's say you pick the top 10 songs. You drop a single today. 2 weeks later, you drop another one. That's more attention coming to you. 2 weeks later, you drop another single. That's more attention coming to you. On the 4th, whatever. 2 months from now, you got another one drop. So every 2 weeks, you got some motion going.
Okay.
Every 2 weeks, but then you drop the album. You only gonna get motion for about 2 weeks, and then it's gonna just dribble down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How many singles would you say, at a minimum, an artist should put on their to-do list? Like, you map out an album and the release and how you plan to do everything. How many singles do you think they should pick for,
like, a project kind of thing?
Yes. At a minimum.
Well, I mean. I guess old school type, when we were growing up with in early hip hop and stuff, I think 3 was the number, or 4 maybe, you know what I'm saying, if it was that hot.
Yeah.
But that's when people were buying albums.
Right.
Now I feel like it really depends on if you drop a project, like you have that one song you choose, but from there your fans actually choose for you. You know what I'm saying? How sometimes Spotify shows you the numbers of what songs played the most.
Right.
You might be surprised, like, man, the one song you didn't even think about was gonna do numbers is doing numbers.
So you should pick your singles post release or prior.
Well, kind of both. Well, at least one before and then post release as well. But I would actually recommend first, whichever one you choose, to make sure you have a video with it. Okay. Like, let it drop at the same time.
Okay.
Don't drop the song first unless it's just part of an album. Drop a video with the song at the same time.
Okay.
They have more of an effect. People want to see something now. They just don't want to, listen to it always.
Right. Absolutely. So we're at an hour, right? So I want to transition real quick into something that I wanted to get into for these artists out here that might have questions, because you got a multifaceted household. I think your wife is like an entertainment lawyer potentially.
She is.
Okay. All right. So, an artist who's never dealt with an entertainment lawyer, do you know of any advice you could give to them how to seek out the proper entertainment lawyer, or at what point in time they might need to? For instance, I was talking to my guy Rodney Brown in Houston, Texas. Shout out to Rodney. What's up? He from background away, but he live in H-Town, DJ as well. And you know, I was just like, I'm getting ready to release my first album on my own label, and I just want a consultation. I want to talk to somebody just to make sure I don't have no holes in my plan, or, you know, I'm doing everything right. Do you think that a local artist should approach an entertainment lawyer and sign themselves to their labels? Or do you think that they ultimately should just make sure that when they interact with other labels, like, I don't know what to call these labels, but okay, you got your major labels, then you got your developmental labels, like Kendrick Lamar was with TDE, right? Migos was with QC and shit like that. But then after they were developed, in those labels put them through to like Interscope and Atlantic and shit like that. So like, when you're on your own, what do you think the artist's initial approach should be to approaching an entertainment lawyer? At what point in time do you think they should?
I say at the point in time when they receive a contract and they don't understand fully what they're looking at. You don't got to be signed to a label. I mean, it could be small or big label. Regardless, there has to be some paperwork showing an agreement. You know what I mean? For as why am I signing to your label? You know, what's the offering? Blah 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 blah. You know. Yeah. I'm not gonna speak for my wife as far as what she does, but right. I'll just say this, man. By actually looking what you're looking for in an attorney is actually find an attorney that actually has done it. Right, a lot of people just think because you're an attorney you can handle it. Right? That's not the case. There's many times certain attorneys like that get you in worse problems. Right. Just definitely. I mean, you could definitely call around, look around, and ask questions. Like they should be able to tell you a client list or something. You know, I negotiated this for that. But whenever they get a contract, some people think that's just the contract and that's it. You know, with an entertainment attorney, they actually will take your contract, and then if you hire them, they'll call the people who's the part of the label, and they'll try to negotiate for you, or just see what can happen and what things you can negotiate on you don't like, and try to they're on your side basically.
So do you think that an artist, let's say, because publishing, right? You have to basically, well, it is I ain't gonna say preferred, but like people who give you advice, they say, hey, you start your LLC, you do your business bank account, you set your business bank account up with your PRO, so that when you get your publishing, that's where it's gonna hit. So it's keeping record of how much money that you're making off of your publishing. Would you say, like, myself, or let's just say fucking Jizzle, right? Jizzle that you work with.
Shout out RDSU Jizzle. Yep.
What's up, Jizzle? Shout out. Do you think he should actually sign? Let's say he's had his LLC set up like that and shit like that. Do you think he should get paperwork for his RDSU and sign to RDSU, so that when he's approached by this developmental label, he's protected in certain ways because he already has a structure there with his own business?
I mean, I wouldn't say you're protected like that. I mean, because the thing is, what are you protected from? Like if somebody just approaches you and they're trying to like sign you, there's they're gonna throw out what they're offering you. But I believe what you're saying is like just him having already stuff prepared to do business makes you just better prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody asks you, hey, I'm like for instance, if a producer sells a beat, you know what I'm saying? They you want to make sure as a producer you send them your BMI and ASCAP information, so when they register, your information is on there. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing with artists. As far as like LLCs and stuff like that, that just depends on how you want to do it. If you want to set up a business for yourself, you want to be able to write this off and really do it officially, I mean, go that route. You know what I mean? there's some people that don't want to do that. They hire somebody else to do that. So it just depends.
Right. Okay. I guess my mind state on that was more along the lines of not necessarily protection as much as, okay, so a lot of solo artists who do that are artists, and then they're a separate person in the same entity. Like they're a CEO maybe or something like that, as their government name, and then their stage name, they're the artist, you know. So when negotiations happen, then they ultimately are being dealt with as two separate people, even though they're the same person. But
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, bro, and that just depends on you as how you want to set it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're actually wanting to be, hey, this is my company, you're the CEO. I also want to set it myself up as an artist, and that's where I get what you're saying. That's where you get an entertainment attorney to help you set it up how you want it. You want contracts for when you sign artists. You want contracts when you deal with producers, when you deal with everybody else.
Right.
And you know, it really depends on the person, on what their view, not view of how they want to set it up, their view of their business. It's just kind of, that's just how it is, you know. You know, some CEOs of regular companies, they also set themselves up as an employee. That way they can pay themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends, you know, how you want to do it. There's many avenues, and those are questions you could ask an attorney. Be like, hey, how does that work? And they'll show you and they'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, 'cause I definitely had interest in setting my children up to be employees of, you know, my label, just because, you know, it's not just a label. Of course, I have my podcast, I have my like my clothing and shit, my merch, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, like, if my kids grow up and decide to do some shit, it's an umbrella, you know what I mean? But yeah. I don't want to, cause you're gonna fuck with what you love. Like, you're an engineer, you gonna keep doing this shit. Ain't nobody gonna stop you from double clicking the Pro Tools icon, Studio One icon. You gonna do that shit regardless or whatever. So you might as well get some money. So you just want to do it the best way that you can to make sure that you're getting some money. But it's different as an artist because you rely on so many people, and then there's nobody telling you, hey, this is the proper way to do this is the proper way to do that, especially in like our city. You see what I'm saying? So I just ultimately asking these questions, man, to kind of just jump out there in front of it to get them an idea of how they should approach it, because, like, you know, it's guys who have emotion, like shout out to Flyer, Itchy Corleone. There's some young guys out there that's doing their thing. Of course, like I said, Jizzle, and it would suck to see them being taken advantage of when they reaching heights that we've been waiting to reach, you know, as artists in the city, or just as a city as a whole, you know what I mean? So I just think that it's important to ask those things. But at this point in time, man, you know, I feel like that it's shot time, brother. You got a shot on you?
Yeah, I do, man. I probably got to get my charger up in a little bit. My phone about to die in a little bit. I ain't know it's gonna be. I ain't know this program was gonna take the little energy it did.
Hey, yo, I understand. But, same.
Give me a second, man. Give me a second. I'll go ahead and change it up real quick. Hold on.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have anything that you would like to put in the comment section for us to double back and answer, then please put it there, because I don't want you to sleep on how knowledgeable that my current guest is as far as everything. I mean, you're talking about a professional engineer who's married to an entertainment lawyer. I mean, dude, you got all the answers in one household. Now, it's only gonna be minimal. If you need extensive answers and stuff like that, you're gonna have to ask for, like, you know, business information so you can actually do business. This ain't gonna be like you getting all your free chicken right here, bro. Everything else is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a transaction, but you should understand. But, you know,
man,
in business,
I think you asked me. My bad. It was a delay. My bad. Go ahead.
No. I was talking to the audience while you were getting ready. I was just telling them, like, you know, if they got something they want to ask you, as far as you or your wife or something, put it in the comment section. But understand that, like, you know, once it's past what we talking about, then, you know, they actually gonna have to do business. And so expect to do business. You know, nobody's doing this. We're doing this because we care about people with similar interests and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you know, if it ain't business, it's not nothing. It's not, you know, it's what we here for. You already took it?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I poured a big one so I can do some more.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Salud.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, that was a double.
That Don.
One time for Don Jorge.
Yep. Appreciate that. I know another thing a lot of people, I think you asked earlier, like how can they get that information? Like how can they find out information about it? Like a lot of people really don't do the legwork to go find these people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the one thing is a lot of people, I feel, don't do the legwork enough to schedule and pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like if I had questions about, actually I've done this before. If I actually booked a studio so I could chill and talk to an engineer before.
Oh, that's dope.
I've done that before. It was like, man, you're not an artist. Like, yeah, man, I just want to talk to you. You know, help me through this here. I'm not, you know, see, once we vibe and I could do that, I've done that before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I actually I ended up booking a studio in Atlanta for about I want to say I did 4 hours. I was gonna be in Atlanta for a weekend. I ended up booking the studio for 4 hours. Ended up meeting the owner. They said they were hearing my work, and I just invited artists I knew from Atlanta just to record for free. I wasn't charging nothing.
Man.
And then what happened? What happened was the owner 2-3 weeks later was like, he looked up my info, was like, hey man, can you come up here and record some of my artists? I said, you know I'm in Augusta, right? I was like, he's like, this ain't, you know. I was like, I got to drive up there. Right. He's like, come on. And I've been doing that almost 4 years now. That's how I got the gig, was me booking that studio.
Hell yeah. And you know, and I want to say to the artists out there, man, like how he just said that, man, you can't get amongst these people and feel inferior, because you just as good or you just as worthy of the spotlight as these people, man. I'm amongst a lot of folks a lot of times, you know, and sometimes you have to pay to be in those rooms. Like on my last episode, I was showing an autograph book I got from Drummer Boy, whatever. That particular day when I met Drummer, I knew Scotty ATL at least 10 years, right? And I knew he was coming to my city, so I was pulling up on him to support him because he's a real nigga, and I support down to earth, humble, real people all day long. But Drum had a book he hadn't released yet. He was giving away a copy. So he like, Scotty was on stage. Who want this book? I threw my hand up. He like, boom, you go to VIP and woo woo. Bam, he done hooked me up with multi-platinum producer Drummer Boy, an autograph book, but the book $100. Shit, I got $100, but it's my last $100. Guess what the fuck I did? I spent my last $100 to get that book from Drum, and then he got down, hit me with his contact information. Now I could text him, not just Scotty, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, you have to take leaps of faith so that once your fruition happens and you can actually make these moves, you can make moves other people can't make. You feel me? Because what do we do this track? And it's out of here. You feel me? The track is out of here. Because I feel like I'll kill anybody track. But if I kill his track though, he gonna be like, who the fuck is this nigga?
Cato.
Yo,
I got a Drummer Boy story.
What's up? Let me hear that. I'm interested. Hell,
I got a Drummer Boy story. So Drummer Boy was working with a artist I work with as well called Sean Cassidy, and they ended up making a song. They went to Miami, did a video, and basically it was around the same circle of the artists I was working with. And so the Spanish artist I was working with basically set it up for us to go to Drummer Boy's house.
Damn.
Into that famous studio where they recorded 2 Chainz, Jeezy, I mean, you name it. We went to his house. In his house, he had a setup where he's making beats right there, but next to the kitchen. I mean, I was all over the house. We taking shots or whatever. We eating well. I'm upstairs recording. And to be honest, man, I used his computer, and I was like, you know what? Nah, bro, bring my laptop. I had to hook up my laptop, bro, because it was just a little older. It was a little older computer.
Okay.
And I mean, it was to the point where we were recording and Drummer Boy was downstairs making beats. So we'll go back downstairs, be like, what you got next? And we were just vibing like that, bro. He gave us beats and stuff, man. And I got some footage on it as well. But yeah, I got my history with him. We were at his house chilling, vibing, and I was on his couch.
And he's a
cool dude, man.
Guy. Yeah, real cool dude. But he bought his business.
Dude, and go ahead.
No, I said he bought his business, but at the same time, like his book. Do you know he got a book out?
No, I didn't know,
bro.
You know he got a store. He part of the House of Fresh.
House of Fresh. I'm going.
Yeah, shout out to Harry. Harry be in there with him. So shout out to him.
Cato the King.
I got a House of Fresh hoodie. I got a House of Fresh hoodie they gave me.
Oh, he got a brand.
Not hoodie. Like a Letterman's jacket almost type.
Damn. They here right now.
I'll show it to you. Matter of fact, I can show it to you.
Let me see that shit. Hell yeah.
Hold up, man. Give me a second, man. Hold up. I'll show it to you.
That's crazy. Listen. Shout out to Drummer Boy. Shout out to Drum Squad. Shout out to Spark Dog. Listen, man. Hey. Sometimes the biggest way to pull, your city up is to fuck with some real niggas, man. Oh,
like this.
God.
And it say House of Fresh, a fresh family.
Fresh.
Right there. Hold on. I'm trying to get it right. My bad. Damn camera angle. Yeah, so it look like that. Got stars on the side.
Oh,
fresh
man.
family.
That's insane, bro. Oh, God. And I'm talking about I got a book. Drum, I need a jacket, Drum. I need a jacket. Hey, I'm hitting everybody I gotta hit up to get that jacket.
Hey, man.
Listen.
And that's just an example of like, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, working in Atlanta, like, it was to the point, like, every week, I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
I just know I was going with my people, and we were meeting. I mean, I'm talking about meeting A&Rs, execs. I'm working with up-and-coming artists. I was just like, man, let's go. And I'm not, as an engineer, shout out, like, I've seen engineers, they go in a room with their camera. You can't go in there, bro. You finna get kicked out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go in there, you gotta work. You gotta show them what you can do.
Yeah, Atlanta is stacked up, man. It's so much talent. There's so many guys that's making worldwide moves from right there.
And they got the history. Bro. Like the 90s and all that. You know what I'm saying? So Def. They got the history.
Shout out to my guy, Renegade El Ray, head engineer of Michael, Killer Mike's album. Fucking shout out, of course, like I said, the drummer.
He got a Grammy, right?
Yeah, he got a Grammy. They won.
Shout out to him for sure. That's the goal. I mean, for sure.
Fuck yeah. And Renegade, man, I talked to Renegade today, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, Renegade is humble. And he deserves all the blessings coming his way, man. I mean, it's a million people that I could name in the city, bro. But ultimately, like, this is exactly what I'm saying. You plugged in and talk and have brushed shoulders with guys up there. I have, but I feel like that we from where we from, we worthy of these same accolades and shit. We put in these same amount of years. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know this, but down the road, we know this. Down 2 hours down the road and shit like that. So
that's where you got to go in and you got to go. If you want to compete, you got to go and compete.
Yeah, we got to break the bridge down, like, man.
You got to go and compete, and that's what I did. I went to the A, and at first they were like, "Man, this Spanish cat, can he engineer?" I was like, "Man, just put him behind the boards."
Right.
After that, it's like, "Yo, bring them through." They call me Augusta. They call me all kind of names. I got all different kind of names. So you can't be afraid to compete. Like, I can say this, man. I can go to any studio in the world with Pro Tools and feel very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of me learning how to read the room. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that's what's
like
up. That's what's up, bro. And I ain't mean to cut you off again.
No, you good.
But that's just a testament to everybody watching, man. You gotta understand that. Listen, it starts with you. You gotta believe in yourself. Don't never quit on your dreams. Thoughts become things, and just keep grinding, man. You gotta push through. You ain't wake up and feel like that's the shit you needed to chase for nothing. And real quick before we get to a point where we gonna shut it off, I want you to just show a little love to your daughter, man. Like, I seen she was
man,
she was doing a couple things, man. Yeah, superstar, bro. Go ahead and let the people know what she does, man.
Just a brief intro, man. My little girl, she's 9 now, but at 3 she had her first commercial She had her first commercial. She had to learn how to sign an A, the letter A, how to sign it to get herself a state ID so she can get paid.
Wow.
So commercials been from Nickelodeon, Disney. She's done lots of local commercials with Napa Auto Parts, Publix. And just last year, her and my niece actually hit their first big time movie. They just had a small part, but it was a Guardians of the Galaxy, that latest release.
What?
And then also she's in the Guardians of the Galaxy right at the end with the kids that got in prison or whatever. And then one of the main scenes there.
I was watching a million times.
And also, what else? Man, she's also a professional competing cheerleading. She's a competitive dancer. We keep her busy, man, and she enjoys it. And she also had me and her mother. She got me a job actually in a cartoon, and I think it's Disney. Doc McStuffins' 10th anniversary, the 10-year birthday or whatever.
Yo.
Doc turns 10 episode. That's what it was. She had me and her mother, and I had 2 lines, and I got paid like, I don't know, almost like $1,700 just for 2 lines.
That's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We had to take a quick little break. But yeah, man, his family's doing big things, man. Real big things. You're right. Hell yeah. So what we're gonna do is ultimately close out on some studio type shit. Just because you the studio plug, man, we can't let you come to the Insomniatic podcast. I mean, I know how to reach you, bro. Look, we locked in. We about to. But for my people out there, I'm gonna go this way. Out of all of your times using many different softwares in your career, I know Pro Tools is your favorite DAW, right? But what would you say after number 1 will be 2, 3, and 4? Well, I say 2 and 3. Don't even worry about 4 because it's stuff out there, but hell, it gets iffy the more that you stretch out. So, what would you get ranked right behind Pro Tools for those who aren't Pro Tools savvy? Because I use Pro Tools for a long time because it's user friendly. It doesn't switch up that much from the technology. They might add something, but you use it the same way you used the shit 10 years ago. So I'm gonna let you take the floor and just rank what you think.
Gotcha. So for the people that don't know, I'm basically married to Pro Tools. You know what I'm saying? That's basically like my second wife, bro. So she ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So hell no. So the other big booty girls, that ranking them, it'll be ranking the DAWs, man. My choice. I mean, it all depends on what you're into, man. Like if you're more into making beats and stuff, but I would pick second would be probably Studio One, because in my opinion, to me, Studio One is a blend of like Logic and Pro Tools together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a good blend. So you still have the simplicity of Pro Tools, and it actually does stuff that Pro Tools doesn't. You have to pay more to get, in the higher levels of Pro Tools. They have Pro Tools Ultimate. There's some things that Pro Tools doesn't do that Studio One does that Pro Tools doesn't do. So it's a good blend, and also you can actually make beats with it. You could chop your samples, do everything. You could use VSTs and everything with it. So it's a nice program. Third would be Logic. I like Logic. Logic is dope. Fourth, believe it or not, man, an engineer named Sean Guest in the city. He's in the South Carolina Aiken area. I don't know exactly what area, but it's close to Aiken. But Sean Guest uses Reaper, and he showed me what you can do with Reaper, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Damn.
Reaper is a great program. I mean, you could program it to do certain actions for you. It's really, really nice, but I just don't have time to learn a new program, man. I just stick with my, I stick with my Pro Tools, and I flirt with Studio One and Logic. You know what I'm saying? So when I need to.
Hell yeah. What's up, man? That was.
I'm talking DAWs.
That was a great list though, and I was glad to hear Studio One on that list because that's what.
I know that's why you asked the question, because you wanted to hear Studio One, because you know how I feel about Studio One. I already knew that. I was just setting up. That's why I was laughing. I was like, this dude just wanted to hear that I was gonna pick Studio One.
However, before you recommended Studio One to me, probably the past 15 years before that was all Pro Tools, bro. Yeah. So it's still certain shit that I used to know how to do in Pro Tools that I don't know how to do in Studio One. So it's still a transition. But like when you told me to switch over to Studio One, I re-recorded my whole album into Studio One. I just did because I didn't upgrade my mic, but everything else I did. I went and got a different PC because I was building my studio around my Apollo Solo as well. When I got an Apollo Solo, and I got everything that you said to get, and it didn't disappoint. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing this advice, I am tried and true that when he say something, go buy that shit, set it up, and see how.
Let me go ahead and let them know. Like why they call me the Studio One. Let me just go ahead and let them know. So a lot of people be like, man, why they? It's a name I got because not only was I selling the gear, I was training people doing it. I'll help the churches, the school systems, local businesses. Like, they just calling me for everything. And just over time, it was like, man, that's the plug, and it just stuck. I was like, man, the studio plug. I was also, in studio, so that's why they do that. And I take pride in helping people, man, and getting them the right stuff. There's a lot of studios I helped set up in the CSRA, man, a lot of them.
And I know some of them. I know a few of them that I know for a fact you had a hand in setting up, and I recorded in these studios, and hell, listen, the impact of those studios being set up is extensive. A lot of songs have come from those same studios that, were put out, you know what I mean? So, hey, you can't sleep on the impact of that, you know what I mean? Because ain't nobody gonna call you and say, hey, just so you know, we put out this on.
They're not gonna call you. I'm gonna get tagged. I'll be like, oh damn, man, that's a whole different subject. I'll tell you this, I take pride in my work, and something that I probably do that, it's not uncommon, but I'm actually, like, when we're recording, I'm also kind of mixing as well. So people leave with a very good rough mix. Like, they call it a rough mix, I call it a vibe mix. It has effects, it has what you want, has the feel. There's no way you can do a recording, mix, and master in the same session. There's just no way. You gotta let your ears rest and hear it again later. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. But man, it's I forgot. I kind of lost track what I was gonna say, but it's just, I love my city. You know what I'm saying? I love the city. I love the people in it, man. They made me who I am. They helped me get better as well.
Hell yeah!
Shout out to Atlanta. Help me feel like I can compete at that level.
Anytime. Shout out to y'all. But Augusta's an unsung hero. I feel like that you can't sleep on the city, man, because it's a lot of niggas in big cities who know who the fuck we are as far as like Augusta, everybody like you got to think about it. I saw Lil Baby before Lil Baby was big as he was. He came through Augusta. I met Trouble in Augusta. Niggas come get their money through Augusta. I want Augusta to get to the point where niggas who live in Augusta, was born and raised in Augusta, can get a bag in Augusta to catapult them to a level where they can make moves outside the city. Because, any artist from anywhere, I'm in Texas now, and I'm pretty sure when I hear a song on the radio, I know they ass got a show in Augusta at some point. Big Zah, I don't know if he did, but if you want to boss up your life, all you gotta do is get in he came to Augusta and said that shit and got some back end, nigga. Everybody got some back end, and it's time for the city of Augusta's club owners, because it's not Augusta. We all sons of the city, but the people who are in charge of the bag, it's time for y'all to have some bag for the sons of Augusta, so you can control the city.
Hold up. So I get what you're saying.
And I really shout out.
Respect to what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I feel like
But check this out.
Check this out. See, you gotta think business. You gotta think business. So check this out. Let's take a local artist, right? Not saying names, just a local artist. You pay them. You know, you talking about the club owners that you want them to pay the bag or whatever, right? Let's say you pay them $5,000 to perform, right? What's the guarantee that they gonna have that people packed in there so the club can make their $5,000 or more from that?
Bring the big act and let them open for a lesser.
But you're still paying.
Okay, that's different. That's different, right?
But you gotta make sure you're gonna bring an act, a big act that's actually gonna attract people as well.
The big acts come though. And I
I'm talking about the local artists. I'm talking about the local artists. I'm not talking about the big acts. My bad. I'm talking about the local artists. You gotta bring a local artist that's gonna attract people as well.
I feel like this. Like if you bring the big artists and then you just allow the smaller artists to be a part of it, and they gonna promote it themselves, and it might not blow like that. But I'm talking about a local artist that's like fire. You know what I'm saying? That people might not.
They do it though. But they do it though. They have local artists that perform for these bigger acts.
I mean, I've seen it, but I'm just saying, like, allow them to get some type, like, it's for free, or allow them to get some type of, at least get them niggas gas money. But I'm just saying that I would love to see them on the bag.
Hold up, bro. So, like you said, at least get some gas money or something, right? At least get a gas money, or sometimes they be like, man, just give me a section, give me a bottom. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on the negotiations. It all depends on the negotiations and also how much leverage you have.
Yeah, now I don't think that you should just let a motherfucker do it just because they from the city. I do think that you should. Like, if I'm a club owner in the city, in the instance that I'm talking about, and I'm just talking about me owning my own club, and having the interest that I have in the advancement of the city, I might put my ear to the streets and be like, who is the city behind, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then I'll be like, okay, well, I'm bringing such and such. Somebody get in touch with such and such. I'm gonna let him open for him. I'm gonna give him a rack or whatever the fuck. Like, don't judge me saying a rack, because I don't own no club. I don't know what they be paying these guys. But then, boom. So then the city getting more and more behind the motherfucker. But he networked with who I brought. And the person who I brought heard that shit and was like, psh, that shit was kind of hard. How much of a bag you got? Because I give you a feature. Like when Boosie came to the city, he did a song with Absolute and Pillar. Absolute and Pillar did a song with Boosie. And if I'm not mistaken, it was, I think Spilly might have recorded that.
It was at Spilly. I know I saw AD on the board. I don't know if AD recorded them and they just used it, but I know it was there. Shout out to AD, shout out to Spilly. They were all there. Shout out to Richie Ray as well. He was there as well. But I mean, I get what you're saying, but I feel you looking at it from a artist point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because already, like, me paying a rack, like you said, a stack to the artist, also letting him come in, letting him network with the big artists. They're winning. What am I getting from it? You know what I'm saying? And that's also a point of view that a lot of people don't look at from the clubs. Like, but the way I look at it is like, hey, why not have a contest? Okay, cool. Let me put a cap on this. Certain artists that are gonna get this opening act or position gotta have a certain amount of followers. You know what I'm saying? And then from there they have a contest, see who will actually perform, who give a better performance. Look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? The winner gets in, and if I'm seeing that, hey, you opened up for my club and you're really rocking the crowd, I'm gonna invite you again. And over time, your value goes up as an artist. Like, yo, I'm doing this my third time coming in here. Like, hey, now, you know, what's up? You know, give me 500 or a sack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the negotiation, how you leverage yourself in this game. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. Because I know you just can't. You know, you just give somebody, I'm giving the artist a rack and they going in there performing and they not never gonna come back. They don't even spend a single dollar in my club. Why do I want them?
No. I get it and I understand. I guess when I said that, I was in the mindset like this. Last time when I went to Oak, when I was in the city, I saw a Flyer in the city, right? I chopped it up with him for a second, whatever. Flyer got paper. Flyer got a following. You see what I'm saying? I think if he did a show or whatever, people would come out a little bit at least. But if he was opening for somebody who's big, people already gonna be there. But at the same time, they are familiar with who he is. You see what I'm saying? So I just think that you also put Fly in a position to network with whoever you brought. So then, even if you say, okay, well, let's just give this nigga 500, 400, 300, the opportunity for him to network with this guy is payment as well. You see what I'm saying? And if he takes advantage of that and benefits from that, it advances the city, because in a lot of ways, and I hate to say this part, but in a lot of ways, Augusta supports the same type of nigga as far as music goes. Augusta like to support dope boys that rap. And they ain't no diss to Fly, they ain't no diss to nobody. But like, you ain't never gonna see a lyricist from Augusta get that type of support for nothing, you know, as far as because he ain't gonna just have all these bands and shit because it's lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So he ain't gonna be able to make certain moves that these niggas can make that's in the streets. He just can't. His budget different.
That's I get what you're saying, but that's totally different situations, I feel. You know what I'm saying? If you're a lyricist and you marketing yourself as somewhere where they want to hear more street type music, I mean, it's not gonna work. You need to find yourself where your market's at. You know what I'm saying? My bad, go ahead. Yeah, so first of all, shout out to Fly. I know Fly, shout out to him. I mean, I'm not speaking for him, and I don't know how it works, but I don't know how it works with the clubs, who opens what, but I would think, like, if I was an artist or a manager or something, I would try to get into that circle so I could maybe be in consideration for an opening act. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever we got to do for that. Like, what will it take? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? As far as on that end.
You ever heard of Floyd in the Sky?
Yeah.
Hardest nigga.
Been knowing him for a long time.
Hardest nigga in Augusta. Easily.
You said the hardest?
To me, easily. They not gonna accept him the same way they accept Fly. If opening up for a nigga, Big Zah, let's say, coming to the city, they not gonna accept. I ain't gonna say they gonna boo him because his shit hard as fuck. But what I'm saying is this: I think that the city and not me, because fucking that last album that Floyd put out was fucking gas. But they rather see Flyer, and Fly is dope. That's not the both of them focus.
All right, so I get what you're saying, but I mean, I mean, Flyer had a feature from Rollo, didn't he? You know what I'm saying? On his album, on his last one that came out. So
that was
the thing is, I think.
What's that nigga name? Who Lil Baby artist? Not Rollo. Rollo was locked up. It was
not
Rollo.
The big nigga who talk funny.
Not Rollo.
Some Rodriguez.
Right?
Yes. I know. That's right.
Anyways, it don't matter. I'll be in the studio, bro. I don't be. Anyway, what I'm saying is, like, it depends on your market. It really depends on your market. Like you said, a lyricist going into a place where they want to feel energy. They trying to get on girls. They trying to vibe. You know, and you trying to be a lyricist. Some people don't want to listen to that. But if you go to a type of poetic type vibe club or something like that, they gonna listen to you more there. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I understand where you're coming from with it, but you really have to measure what is going on, what type of songs I'm bringing. Now, you know, if a certain artist is known for being more lyricist, but then he starts having more songs that can relate more to the club, then those are the type that I would suggest to perform. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. It also depends on you, on your art, how you want to be seen. You know, it ain't a matter of. I mean, I agree with kind of what you're saying, but it depends on your audience. You got to bring that energy. You got to match it or be the energy that they like.
I understand that, and I agree, but I do feel like that certain artists like Floyd, he gotta go up the interstate. Like it's no space in Augusta to where, yeah, like you said, poetry. But that ain't what he doing with his bars.
No, I'm not saying that's what I was just talking in general.
No,
I ain't saying
just
that's
that
what you
crowd
saying.
would be more in tune to listen to lyrics. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was saying about that. But
right, and I ain't saying that's what you saying. What I'm saying is this: the clubs that's in the city, it's just no place for that. You see what I'm saying? Like, which one is gonna be the one where he can go do his thing? Maybe some shit on Broad Street. You feel me? They're like,
but why just limit yourself there? Just go to the bigger city. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna have to, because it's not like if anybody's bringing.
I think he's been doing it though.
Hell yeah, he has.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. But I feel
he's
like
been traveling doing.
He had.
Go ahead, man. My bad.
No, you good. He had to, but at the same time, even if he didn't have to, he would have. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like the way that the city's structured off, like downtown, you might get a rapper that's like on some trap shit, but more than likely, that's where the arts happen. That's where the R&B singers perform. This from the city, you know, Soul Bar or some shit like that. And then when you go uptown, like to Oak, and I don't know all these other clubs shit, because I don't be out there like that, but I just feel like that it's sectioned off like that. But ultimately, like, Augusta just love gritty shit, and it's easier to pop off.
That's club.
It's easier to pop off,
life, man.
Yeah, but it's easier to pop off in Augusta because of the history and the nature of Augusta, and just that they love some gritty shit, and I love gritty shit too. Like, hell, don't get me wrong. Like, I might say, oh yeah, this person deserved this person deserved that, but ultimately, shit, I'm still bumping that other shit. You know, that's like I love Andre 3000, but I'm still gonna bump some Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bump some Lil Baby, some Gunna. Like, I just am. But 3 Stacks come to Augusta, I'm still going. But he ain't gonna be at no club. He gonna be at the fucking James Brown Arena. You feel me? Because I just feel like per art form, like, category, is confined to a certain venue. And I just feel like that somewhere like Augusta that's that fucking versatile is underrated. You know what I mean?
There's so much talent in the city, man. Not only from artists, I mean, but you have instrumentalists that are great. You know, I mean, shout out to the great Wyclef Gordon. That's one of the top trombonists in the world. He teaches at Augusta State University now.
Yeah,
he's a good friend of my family of mine, basically.
So many people out there. I mean, you got AE singing. You know what I'm saying? AE the Cool. I mean, so many people out there. You know. I didn't. You know, I'm not trying to name names because I know I'm gonna let out some people, but I mean, the talent speaks for itself. I just think it's a different. The game is changing.
The game is changing now. Like you know, it's not as easy as, you know, I'm selling the CD and products. You got to be more out there. You got to put yourself more out there. Get more visuals. Get yourself out there. You're marketing yourself. Be that billboard like we talked about earlier.
Right.
You know.
Shout out to AE too, because I love AE. God damn. She hard as fuck. And I think that, you know, ultimately, like, as we close out, I want you to go through everybody you could think of, and not because you're like finish what you was about to say, definitely. And I want you to shout out every artist that you fuck with. I know we gonna skip somebody. We gonna skip somebody for sure. You know, I'm gonna skip.
Nah, man, I wish I had my hard drive in front of me to name everybody. But listen, shout out to everybody that I work with, that have given me an opportunity to work with you. Like, they know, like, my clients know how busy I am. Like, they know how much work and passion I put into this. They know how much I sacrifice for this. And they also know that they help me get better. Every single one of them, all of them bring a different energy, some that I have to focus on and kind of to help master or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They help me with that. And I try to create a environment that they're free to just get creative and let's go. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of let's go on and build it. So, I mean, I can name names, but I know I'm gonna forget somebody. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brothers, the ones that I'm really in tune with. They know who they are. Shout out to y'all. And man, I mean, shout out to all the engineers, producers in my city, man. Keep grinding. I got something special coming that I'm actually working on, man. I'm definitely trying to trying to at least show y'all the things that at certain levels you need to know, as far as with engineering and being in studios and stuff. Because I always feel like the better the studios can equip themselves, the better they are. The engineers are just gonna help the city grow, especially with the artists.
Hell yeah, that's what's up, man. You know, I feel like that somebody's gonna break through. I think multiple people will break through. And it ain't a lot of names that I'm going to name, but I do feel like, for instance, like AE is gonna break through. I feel like Floyd's gonna break through. I feel like Fly is gonna break through. You know, but if you've been on the scene as long as we have, you understand this shit. It's people who just hung it up and went home who deserve to break through as well. And you know, some of them folks are the people that we do this shit for. You know, they kind of add to not your resentment, but they fuel your fire to be like, you know what? They don't have to know who you are. I appreciate your contribution to my fuel. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe we desire to be the fuel that will fuel somebody's contribution that ultimately breaks through. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's just some knowledge that you end up giving somebody who's going engineer in the future, who's going to end up recording some huge shit, and he's from Augusta, but he was on some intern shit when he first met the studio plug. You know what I'm saying? When he get up there and he's holding his Grammy, he gonna be like, I want to take this time, man, to give a shout out to fucking Jorge Castillo, still on the boards, studio plug, cause you know, when motherfuckers ain't believing me and I was fucked up and broke, he showed me a lot of shit that I know now that got me to this point. You know, like shit like that, man. Like.
I mean, that's. I agree with what you're saying, man. I know soon my goal is to eventually train engineers and train them and show them how to work, instead of them spending all that money to go into these big schools. I feel like I could definitely train them the same way. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe building a school like that or whatever. That's kind of the goal. But you know, until then, man, like I still have personal goals where I want to get on there and give a shout out to people who didn't believe in me. I mean, there's artists that will not contact me because of, you know, they didn't believe in me back then, and they know how I'm just like, man, y'all shitted on me back then, and then now y'all want to work. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
My AirPods about to break off. There we go.
Hey. My AirPods dying too. Dang.
It's all good, man, because we gonna wrap it up. It's just been an interesting and very informative episode. So I didn't want to, deprive the people, and hey,
it's our first one, man. It's our first one. So next time I know, with people leaving in the comments, we'll know what they want to know about, what questions, studio questions they have, or anything like that.
Right. Do not be shy. Put all your questions in the comments. Even if you just want to know how to contact anyone, either one of us, if there's any way that we can help, I'll have our Instagram handles and stuff like that at the end of the video. So, just pay attention to that. But if you're looking to do some business, of course, I will pass you through. But just don't try to network with somebody that you met through my platform and be bullshitting, because we're doing serious business. It ain't no knock on nobody, but I'm not bringing y'all nobody who is on some mediocre shit. This is the fucking studio plug, goddamn it. I'm just saying, bro.
We finna, we'll talk to them and we'll know if they about it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. But I said that to say, because somebody who's watching is a serious artist, and this shit that I'm doing, the people that I put in front of, these people, is for them, because ultimately I wish I had somebody that did that shit for me. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
When I was hustling, when I was coming from nothing, I had first cousins who were fucking super dope and production, music, all that shit. But once they decided that they was gonna hang that shit up because they got super good jobs and shit, then I was on my own, you feel me? And I wish that I had somebody to besides my brother Cassius Clay. Shout out to Cassius Clay because he took me on his wing.
Shout out to Cassius Clay.
Yeah, that's my brother, and he made sure that he harvested my talents because he knew how they were doing it for me. And you know, I just felt like that at least the people who had the network, if they would have passed me through to certain people, hey, I would have appreciated it. But he definitely did it. But you know, the city's so big that you can't limit it to just one person, bro. So my network is your network, is your network, is your network. And that's all I'm saying. And that's what we do here on the Insomniatic podcast, is we patch you through to the network. And if you serious, boom, you already got it. You can thank me in the comments. You could DM me and thank me, but just handle your business and do your thing, man. You got anything you want to hit them with on the close, brother?
Man, just like I say, thank you, Ron. Thank you, Cato, man. You know how we do it, man. And man, shout out to everybody out there that's just grinding, man. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Some people do it. Some people do it for the love. Some people do it to compete. I mean, just keep going. Don't stop. Release the music. Stop holding the music.
Hell yeah, for real though. And please believe, I always say it, but it's some real shit. Cato the King, Eccentric, the album, it's done. When you hear it, Studio Plug still on the boards. I guarantee you.
Man,
ain't nobody else touching my shit.
It's gonna sound amazing, man. It's gonna sound amazing. I guarantee you.
Ain't nobody else touching my shit. They can touch somebody else's shit, but they ain't gonna fucking mix and master and none of that shit on my shit.
Appreciate that, man. But
we got something special for that, though. Definitely. And like I said, this ain't gonna be the only time I'm here, man. So like I said, hopefully, like I said, next time we can do another one where it's more, you know, they asking me studio questions or techniques and stuff, and I'll be at the studio. I'll be able to show a little more too, so we can give a little different advice that way as well. So
hell yeah.
You know, shout out to Wavy Wayne. Shout out to shout out to all the guys, the audio nerds. There's a lot of guys out here putting a lot of information that people that need to hear about the studio. So
yes,
they've been doing it for a long. Wavy's actually a Full Sail graduate as well.
Yes, he is. Wavy has saved me a lot of nights, you know, and a lot of headaches.
And I'll tell you a gem that a lot of people don't know. It's a young man trying to come up. He goes by VVS Academy, the VVS Academy or Sound Academy, VVS Sound, I think is what it is. This guy, I think, is up north. This guy's an amazing teacher online. He'll give you lots of wealth as well, as far as a lot of gems on far as mixing and how to record as well. Check him out as well.
I was about to say, I'm gonna check him out for sure. You know, we gonna chop it up. You know, I be having my questions and shit. Shout out to Wavy Wayne, you know, and this on the engineer side, you know, shout out to motherfucking Flo. Shout out to Renegade El Ray. Man, engineers are underrated, but they are the fabric of making what you hear in between your ears come out speakers, bro. And you gotta goddamn show that appreciation in its entirety, especially like he said, they're not included in the publishing, so pay your fucking engineers.
It's all about negotiation, man. It's all about negotiation.
When you play that shit with somebody, when you pull up on your niggas and be like, bro, you gotta hear this shit I just recorded. Pay your motherfucking engineer.
Now, I'm gonna just say this, man. My goal is to add value to your song. If I didn't do that, then, you know, I didn't do my job. So I gotta add value to your song. That's my goal. So I mean, we could talk more and more about the studio edit. You know, I could talk more in detail about stuff like that people want to know. But that's for next time, though. Definitely. But
well, listen, on the way out, brother, hit them with all of your social media handles, all of it.
Man, this is one, man. Just hit me up on the gram, the Studio Plug 706. And I'm going to let y'all know I'm a busy guy, so it might take me a day or a few hours later to get back to you. I will get back to you.
Hey, but he's busy, rightfully so. Your shit gonna sound like hell. It's like calling a number and they say you motherfucking number 106 in line, but you sit there and wait till they pick up the phone. Cause it's gonna be worth it when they answer. I appreciate.
I hope it don't take that long. I hope it don't. Hell no.
Yeah, hell, not 106 shit. But hey, listen. Y'all thank me later for plugging you with a studio plug, and don't never think that you gonna be plugged in more than me. Cause listen, when you can't get them, it's cause I already done sent them some shit. God damn it. But I appreciate
that, man. Appreciate that.
I appreciate y'all for rocking with the podcast. I appreciate y'all for taking the time to listen and just watching this far. Man, it ain't nothing but love and respect for y'all. Anybody y'all see on here, man, listen, just treat them with the same love and respect that y'all do for me, because shit, it's only solid people gonna come through and be on my platform, man. Got anything else for them, brother?
Nah, man, just like I say, check out the podcast, and I will be back. I will be back, guaranteed.
Hell yeah. Hey, well, there it is, you guys. Hey, we'll catch you next time. As I always say, never quit on your dreams. Hey, only the weak gonna sleep. And it's a Somebody at it.
Hey, yo, Noir.